Welcome back, people, to another object-oriented programming. Uh, Today we are gonna learn how to fetch data to just get some data from our database that we have created. In our last video, we create our database class using PDO, right? So today we are gonna fetch our data. So let's start by opening up our old code from our previous video. And then after our new PDO, after when the constructor ends, which the constructor ends over here, after that, we are gonna create a new function called query. So we say public function query, and then we want to write something. We want to say this statement, and we have it equals this, our database handler, and we want to say prepare. And inside our prepare, we want to write our variable, which is query. This was just one line of code of a query function. Next, we need to create a bin function. Create our bin function. So we need a public function bin. We want to pass away a param, a value, a type, which will be equal to null. And inside our bin function, we want to say if this type is an integer or a boolean. So we want to say if is null type then we want to use a switch statement, which will say true. And then in our switch statement, we want to say case is it integer, is int, passing a value, and we want to say the type will be PDO, 2 colons, param, int. Next, we want to say if it's a boolean, right? Passing with a value as well. Video param bool. Break it. Next, we want to say if it's null, we want the value, and the type will be PDO, 2 colons, param null. Break it, and finally we have our default, which will be type PDO param string. Basically, what we are doing over here is we are checking what type of data is being passed. So after you end your is null statement, just come over here and we want to say this statement bin value is passing over a param, a value, and a type. So next we want to execute it, so we want to say public function execute. We want to return as a statement, and then we want to say execute. Next we we want to fetch our data, like we want to return our data. So we want to say public function result set. Inside our result set, we want to say this, execute, and then we want to return as this. We want to fetch it all, and inside our fetch all, we want to say PDO fetch associate. So what we are doing here, we want to return our result as a associate of a array. Let's go to our phpMyAdmin and let's create a some like data. So go to your table, which is mine, is called post. Come to insert and let's insert some data. So for our title 1, we want to say post title 1. And for our body, I'm just gonna come to lorem ipsum, and then I'm just gonna grab a paragraph from here, copy, and then go to our phpMyAdmin, just paste it in. And then for our title over here, we want to say post title 2. Again, just paste the lorem ipsum text and hit go. So we have created 2 rows in our table. See, we have 2 rows. So next, let's go to main.php, which we have over here. Data up. Let's say database query, and then we want to select it times from our post table, right? We want to get it from our post table. Next, we want to declare it, so we want to say rows. Let's say rows database as a result set. So we want to print it, our whatever we have, our post 1, post 2, we want to print it out, or we want to have a result as a associate of an array. So next we want to print out our array. So print r, and then just hit rows. Let's save it. Let's go to our browser and let's reload. There it is. We get an associative array of what we have in our table. We got array, title, post title 1, body, which we have this, and so on and so forth. We just have it as a associative array. Next, let's comment this out, the print r rows. And say that I'm just gonna end my PHP tags here, and then I'm just gonna start a HTML tag, and I'm just gonna name my post. Inside of that, I'm gonna say I need a div, and then I'm just gonna create my PHP tags here too. We need a for each, so inside our for we need rows as row. We want to concatenate it, and then we want to close our PHP tags. And then we need a div again. Inside our div, we want a header, and then create our PHP tags again. We want to echo it out. We want to say row. We want to get the title, which in this case we have is post title 1. And why? Okay. and then we want to close our tags. Next, we need the paragraph for our lorem ipsum text, right? So open our PHP tags, echo, row, hit a body, close our PHP tags, close our divs, and then before closing our last div, open a PHP tags, and let's end our for each. For each, and then close our PHP tags. That's all. Let's Control S, Command S to save. Come to our browser and reload. There you go. We got our post. So apparently we have created a blog or something. So this is our post. We just post our post 1 and our post 2. Let's say you want to grab something, right? Let's say you don't want to post your 2 paragraphs or your 2 posts. You just want to grab, let's say, only one, right? So what you have to do is come over here by the query. After post, you want to say where, and then ID, and then inside that ID, we want to say colon ID, and inside of that, we want to bind it. So we want to say database bind, and inside of a bind, we want to say ID, what we have over here, and then what type of post you want. In this case, the ID we have is 3 and 4. Do you want only post title 1 or post title 2? So in this case, I'm going to use 3. So 3, and then semicolon, and then let's Control S, Command S to save. Come to our browser and reload. There you go. We got only our post title 1. So that's how fetch data work from our database classes. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on to the next video.